There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set.
They control the vertical. They control the horizontal. We have reached the outer limits of society and the Constitution. They will tell you, that you're not going to be able to climb the ladder of success. They're going to cut off that ladder. You will not be moving up. You're going to stay in your place. And, oh, by the way, they'll also control the horizontal. You maintain a social distancing between you and other people. And when it comes to adjusting the picture, don't you try to adjust their narrative whatsoever. They will tell you what you are allowed to see and do on social media, in the independent press. They will adjust the narrative. They will tell you what to focus on. And don't you try this at home. Yeah, that is exactly where we are, folks. We are at the outer limits of our tolerance, and we should not be tolerating this. When we look at what is happening with the escalating censorship, YouTube has now censored a pro-life video 4 years after it was posted. This is from Live Action. When they censored InfoWars and they censored Alex Jones, this program, and so forth. And it was 2 years ago, we had the banniversary while I was gone. Oh, it was because we were dangerous or hateful or racist or whatever. They basically can define the narrative. They silence you, and then they hit you with straw man arguments, demonize you, pillory you in the public square while you are bound and gagged and silenced. And so what is it about this pro-life video that 4 years after it was posted, it has to be taken down? Nothing has changed about the video. What has changed is who is in power and the rules about this. And this is why it is so dangerous for our country, the fact that the Republicans have basically taken a powder on all this. President Trump and the Republican Party. Many of them. As a matter of fact, when President Trump had his Rose Garden party with a lot of people in the alternative press who were not censored, you had people, conservatives, like the Heritage Foundation were there, and they support the Heritage Foundation, the biggest conservative think tank, supports the rights of the world's biggest corporations that have ever existed to rule over your free speech, to be able to shut down your human rights. We create government to protect our God-given rights, and we should never tolerate them being shut down. And that's why we have government, to protect those rights, not to turn them over to giant corporations that pay them off. But that's exactly what is happening. The Democrats want it. The Republicans are paid off to allow it. And as a result, we are being ruled by corporations. That is true fascism. These people who are out there, these Marxists in the streets, they're not against fascism. They want this kind of censorship. As a matter of fact, if you don't do anything to stop it, it comes right back around. I said it was going to happen to President Trump if he didn't do anything about it, and yes, it has. The Twitter official who announced the shutdown of the Trump campaign account was the press secretary for Kamala Harris. That's right. That's right. This is how this works. It's the politicization of everything. When you look at NASA going completely woke, this is from Climate Depot. NASA goes woke. They're going to get rid of the name of the Eskimo Nebula. Can't call it that. I don't know what they're going to call it now. You can't have the Siamese Twins galaxy either. NASA will, quote, address systemic discrimination and inequality in terminology for cosmic objects. We don't want to be sexist or racist to our cosmic objects that we name. Kindergarten cop pulled from a Portland theater after complaints that it romanticizes over-policing. I think it ought to be pulled just simply on aesthetic values and entertainment values. Not a great film. But this, the Brooklyn College education professor claims that math is white supremacist patriarchy. This is how insane everything has become. Finally, math. That's where it all breaks down. And this is why they're coming after math. This is why they're focusing on it. And of course, this person is not a mathematician. She is a math educator. She teaches math education. She has no affinity for objectivity. See, that's the reason why they focus on math is because math is objective. You have one right answer. You have one way to get that right answer. And that's why they have worked so hard with Common Core to try to eradicate it. That's why you have these people like this college professor who teaches people to teach math. Think about that. She's teaching people who are going to be teaching your children if you put them in school. So you better start thinking about homeschooling. But she's going to be teaching your kids that math is not culturally neutral. The idea that it is in any way objective is a myth. No, it is the essence of objectivity. That's why George Orwell picked the 2 + 2 = 5. There you go, guys. You knew where I was going. It read my mind. That's why George Orwell talked about 2 + 2 = 5. That is Orwellian, to be able to eradicate all objective truth. And math is the last domino to fall in an objective world. These people, these postmodernists, they want to create a completely subjective rule where there is no truth. That is their only truth that they will hold to. Think about that. The only truth is that there is no truth. This is the sophistry and the deception of these people. And that's where they want to focus. She says, people say it's subjectivism to ask if math is Western. I don't get that. Well, you know, we'll take credit for developing math. Yeah, the Arabs came up with a zero, but Isaac Newton and others took it from there. And now she's trying to drag us back into the Dark Ages, because that's exactly what this is. This is the eradication of all objective thought. That is their goal. And that is a totalitarian objective. That's why 2 + 2 = 5 was the thing that they focused on to get Winston to pare it back. And that's why she is teaching the teachers this, because the government schools and the public schools are essentially seminaries for authoritarianism, for Marxism, for socialism. And that's why we have the type of situation that we have here. I think it's a very healthy thing that more than 50% of the people are considering homeschooling. We need to get rid of the idea that we don't have to worry about what is taught to our kids. Your kids are being physically abused, psychologically abused in the schools if they're not sexually abused in the schools. You better pay attention. You decide. Don't go with the default of the government. You decide. You homeschool them, or you find a private or religious school that you want to put them in. Don't go with the default. We'll be right back.
Have you tried taking the real red pill? A one-of-a-kind heart and brain formula designed exclusively for InfoWars Life. The main ingredient in the real red pill plus is pregnanolone, a little-known neurosteroid that assists in our body's natural hormone production, and low levels are associated with fatigue, low brain function, and unhealthy aging. The real red pill plus also provides essential trace minerals such as vitamin B12, calcium, and zinc. Featuring naturally occurring L-theanine, caffeine, and theobromine, the energy blend inside the Real Red Pill Plus provides an extra pick-me-up for your day that goes beyond the second cup of coffee. So visit InfoWarsStore.com, go down the rabbit hole, and try taking the Real Red Pill to see what it's really all about. That's InfoWarsStore.com.